Why, hello, friends. I am so excited to be with you tonight and to see everybody in the chat. I am seeing people from Pennsylvania and Tennessee. Hello, Alma and Julie and Wendy. So good to see you. I have been looking forward to this video all week, truly. This is a fresh start of your spaces. I had you submit your photos to me of your messiest spaces, the spaces that you did not know what to do with. And I said I wanted to help you. So I have affordable products coming up, and Kathy is working behind the scenes with me tonight. So if I'm mentioning something or a product or an idea and you are interested, she is going to put it straight in the chat for you. And if you're watching this on replay, everything will be linked in the description just to make it super easy. But I also want to make this as interactive as possible. So absolutely leave your questions in the chat. I want to get to them because I truly want you to feel like you leave this video with lots of ideas to organize your home. So even if I'm sharing a space that doesn't look exactly like yours, maybe you can take some ideas. Like I tried to compile all of the things together that would help you the most in your spaces. I couldn't get to every single space that was submitted. I really wanted to do them all, but we'd be here for like 4 hours. So I chose the spaces that would be most beneficial to everybody, and I literally cannot wait to hear from you in the chat. So please continue to say hello, and please continue to leave your messages because we are starting out strong with, let me get this on the screen here, a space that was submitted by Michelle. Now, she sent this to me and she said, Catherine, I need help because I have 2 kids and this entry is driving me crazy. She's like, I didn't know what to do in this space. I wasn't sure like what to put where. And she's very open. She said there were lots of things she would be willing to do in this space. So as we go through some of these pictures, I would love to have you kind of think about like, what would I do in this space? And start to think in a way that you can apply some of these things to your home. So Michelle, this is what I would recommend for you. One of my favorite organization products, let me move my head here, is this IKEA Hemnes shoe cabinet. This thing is $179. It is one of my favorite IKEA products. And this would be really awesome for all 4 of you in your family because you have a spot for your 2 kids plus a spot for you and your spouse to put all of your shoes. And what I really like about this cabinet is it's super low profile. And Michelle, I know that you live in Texas. I would really recommend getting a nice area rug, like a long area rug. My 2 favorite places to find area rugs right now are Aldi, of all places, and Walmart. They have some really good ones in this shape. And what I love about this product is it's going to give you a space on top to have a landing zone for your keys, for kids' supplies, and you can just thrift some art on top of it. You could even put a mirror on top of it. I don't know if you're an art person or a mirror person. Let us know in the chats. Like for me, I really like to have art when I come in, but a lot of people like to have a mirror so they can like take a glance at themselves when they're leaving before they go outside. But I really think for less than $200, you could make this space look absolutely amazing. So again, Michelle, here was the before that you submitted, and this is my suggestion for the after. And I've got a really good question from Crimeology. She asks, does this secure to the wall? I noticed that it has 2 legs. And yes, this cabinet gets secured to the wall. So you can just like put it in with some anchors. And because of that, it's really great for narrow spaces. Like I said, this is in like my top 5 IKEA products. I highly recommend this one. I've worked with it a lot of times. So I'd really recommend that. All right, let me hide this one and we're going to jump right into our next space. And if you're seeing like things in the comments, or I'm sorry, you're seeing things like in the pictures that you're like, oh, I have a quick question about that, or you've got a question about your space, definitely leave it in the comments. So this was the next space that was submitted to me, and this is Christina's linen closet. I honestly feel like all of us are like vibing out in the same mind. So many of you submitted linen closets. This was the most common submission. And she said she just did not know what to do with this space. And she noticed that at the very bottom, there were things that were kind of piling up. She's like, what do I do with these comforters? How do I make this work for me? And really what I would recommend to you, Christina, is to first go through and declutter. Take everything out of that cabinet and see what you can let go of. And sometimes it just helps to see your space, how it could look. Like envision the space in its most beautiful way possible. So I wanted to show this to you in hopes that it would inspire you in your closet. The picture on the left is what your closet could look like after you've decluttered it. And the picture on the right is kind of how our linen closet looks, right? So we just have all of our like sheet sets in pillowcases that I stick right on the shelf, and everything is categorized and easy to see. So if you just got a couple of organizers and you let go of some of those comforters and folded your towels in a uniform way, putting all of your sheets inside the pillowcases, like the whole sheet set, I really think this space could sing for you. And it really helps me to think about. I actually got a text from a friend this week. She works at a local nonprofit and homeless shelter in the area. And this text was of a woman who was sleeping in a bed for like the first time in 5 years. And the comforter set that she had on that bed was donated. And I saw that picture this week and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally have to share this when I go live, because we think of like all the stuff that we have in our closets, right? Like these comforters that we haven't used in 5 years, but we keep them just in case. Do you know what I'm saying? Or those towels that were like, yeah, I use those. Those are my sometimes towels. There are many organizations that would take those and actually use them. Also, animal shelters are another great place to donate old towels, especially the really ratty ones. They will take all of those, and your closet can sing. So I just want to encourage you with that a quick declutter can make all the difference in a space like this, and seeing your space like what it could be. Hopefully that's helpful. And I also made for you, this is completely free. Kathy will put it in the chat. It will also be linked down below, a linen guide. And this is, let me see if I can pull my face up here. This is every single thing that I would recommend a linen closet have. It's not excessive. It's just basic for day-to-day life. How many sheets you should keep based on number of people in your family, how many towels you should keep, how many hand towels, how many washcloths. So if you're like, I don't exactly know what I should keep, like what makes sense, start here. And again, this resource is totally free. There's several pages just to help you with your closet streamlining and decluttering. If you struggle with that, I made this especially for you because I love you guys. So hopefully that is helpful for you. And Christina, I really think that you could have a closet absolutely sing with a bit of decluttering. And that's really cool. Let's see here. Maeve says, I didn't know that about the towels, which is awesome. I'm glad that I could share. All right. I'm trying to do like 9 things at once, you guys. Okay, there we go. I'm like clicking all around. Okay, so the next space that I want to talk about is Felicia's space. And this is another one where she submitted a really challenging one. The photo on the left is the one that she submitted. And she was like, Catherine, I don't know what to do with this space. It feels so messy. I can't get to the stuff in the back. And what I wanted to do was show you how a simple declutter can make such a huge difference. Folding your towels in thirds and then in thirds again. And I have a wheelie cart that is right there next to the dresser. I decided to put that in there so it's not loaded with products in this picture, but you could load it with all of your products and easily wheel it out of the closet and put it back in. I'm a huge fan of wheelie carts. So that would be something you could do in this space. And again, this is not totally full, but it's just to show you, if I were to let go of some things, what would my space look like? Keeping just the towels that I'm using, just the products that I'm using. And I think you would really surprise yourself as you start to let go of things. You're like, oh my gosh, the space is so much more valuable than keeping this just in case item. So hopefully just seeing pictures like this, Felicia, in your space will inspire you to let go. And I would really recommend taking your laundry hamper out of the closet. I rarely recommend putting laundry hampers in closets that you're struggling with space. If you don't have a lot of space in the actual bedroom, they make corner laundry caddies that like fit straight into the corner. They're like little triangles. Those have worked really well in our house, and I've used them for both of the kids. So hopefully that is helpful. And within your packet, if you are struggling to let go and you do not know if you should keep something, if you shouldn't keep something, there's also a handy dandy flow chart in there. So as you're going through and you're like, should I keep this? Should I not? You can ask yourself these questions and it will help you recognize if you should let something go or if you should keep it. So let's see, Diana says she loves the idea of putting sheets in the pillowcase. That is honestly has been a game changer. I've been doing that since I first saw that on Pinterest, like I think for over 10 years, and it has worked so well. I still don't know how to fold a sheet set and I do not care to learn just because it makes it so much easier. And Juliet says, I don't do extra sheets. No comment on blankets, throws, and comforters. I like it. I like it. Let's see if you guys have any other questions. Thank you guys so much too for submitting your pictures and being so willing to put your spaces for everybody to see so we could all benefit from it. I love, love, love. I love, love, love that you chose to do that because it makes me so excited. I honestly many times wanted to like jump through the screen to be able to help people. I was like, if I could just come over to your house, I would help you in like 5 minutes. We could get this done. But I have lots of Dollar Tree ideas. In fact, a lot of the spaces that you sent honestly kept getting better. Like as you were sending them in, I was like, oh my gosh, like it took me a long time to whittle these down. So we have a lot to cover. Natasha, she sent, let me go ahead and pull this comment out here. Oh my gosh, let's see here. How do I get this comment off the screen? There we go. Haha, I knew I'd figure it out. Natasha sent this picture of her pantry and she said she was really struggling with what to do. And Natasha, I can see why. This is a very narrow space and I can tell that she has some pretty good organization in here. Like she really had some baskets she was using. And I even noticed she had the Better Homes and Gardens containers that she was decanting her product in. And those are the clear acrylic containers with the white lids. They're from Walmart and I highly recommend those. But in this space, she was like, I don't know what to do. And so Natasha, really my recommendation here is you have a lot of the building blocks for an amazing pantry. But what I would recommend is zoning your pantry or putting the same type of item per shelf. And that's going to help create uniformity. Let me show you what I mean. So here's an example of how this could look. So if you take all of your Better Homes and Gardens containers that are clear acrylic and you put them all on one shelf, that way you can see everything. Decant all of your product and all of those go together. On the next shelf, maybe you have chips and bread. On the next shelf, maybe you have your overflow and you have snacks, right? And so if you can start to zone out your pantry and create uniform containers that all look the same, this is instantly going to elevate the space. And what I do when I walk into somebody's space is I take everything out of the pantry and then I put things back in the same type of container on each shelf, and each shelf serves one purpose. And this really helps to keep it cohesive and organized. You can see the pantry there to the right is one that I did for a friend, and I love, love how this one turned out. And so if you are really struggling with organization, or I'm starting to talk about products and you're like, I'm not even sure what products to buy, my favorite thing that I could recommend to you is Fresh Start Power Week. I just launched this in the last 2 weeks. It is super affordable. Pick this up in addition to your freebie. I walk you through every single zone of your house, from your office to meal planning to organizing, and all of the products from Dollar Tree and Walmart that are the capsule staples that will help your house feel super organized. And I just got this comment this week from Rosario, which was so sweet of her. She said she felt this course helped narrow her focus on what made work in her house. Years of research, learning, and work helped others on a budget, and it's outstanding. This was the class I didn't know I needed, but I felt so delighted to have taken it. So thank you so much for that comment, Rosario. And I'm so grateful to hear from those of you that have tried Fresh Start Power Week. This is literally such a simple program. It's meant to be done over your lunch break in just a couple of hours. So I go over organization for every room, my simple plan for meal planning, and my paper filing system I've been using for over a decade. Like, this will change your life if you let it, trust me. My cleaning capsule, and then motivation on where to start. So if you're feeling overwhelmed in your home and you're wanting to know the products that can help best, this is what I would highly recommend. So we're going to talk more about that in a minute, but I want to get to more of your spaces because, like I said, we have a lot of them. And I have a few questions that are coming in. Michelle says, what do you recommend for canned goods in a limited pantry space? My favorite canned good organizer, it's like a rolling shelf organizer. And I know Kathy is working behind the scenes in the chat, but Kathy, if you could pull that in for people. This is a kind of like a stacked up shelf, wire metal shelf, and this sticks right in your pantry. It's perfect for small pantries. You can even zip tie it right into metal shelves. This is my favorite organizer, hands down, for your canned goods. I really, really like that one. And then Maria says, try rolling up towels and putting them in a plastic flower pot. I like it. There are some people that love rolling their towels, and then other people who like having them folded. I'm such a towel folder. I can't roll them. But I was talking about this with Kathy, and she was like, I liked rolling my towels. I just think it saves so much space. So I guess it just depends on doing what works for you. And thank you so much for the sweet comment, Jess. I'm so, so glad to hear that. All right. So this next space, I am so excited about. This was actually one of the first spaces that was submitted. And this is from, whoopsie, this is from, take this off here. There we go. This is from Andera. And she submitted this photo saying she didn't know what to do with this shelf in the background. And I totally agreed with her that this could use some extra help. And one thing that I really noticed here is this kind of looks like an inverted triangle, right? So anytime you have art on the wall that's wider than the thing that's below it, it's going to create kind of like a look of a bit off balance. And so what I would really recommend here on Dara is to expand your organization so you can fit a little bit more along that back wall. I would actually recommend you getting 2 more of those shelves. And that way you can organize all of your books, and you can put some extra bins and baskets in there for your tech gear. You could even have room to put your printer on top of these shelves. And it's going to create a lot of cohesive flow from your art down to the bottom. And I would recommend, if you wanted to, updating your art in the back to something serene, especially if you're filming in there. And if you kept the art that you have, which is awesome, you could use this one. And I've covered things with shower curtains before. I've showed that in other videos. So you can just take like an old shower curtain and staple gun it right on top of the art. And that will create something really beautiful that feels nice and cohesive. But this is what I would recommend in this space. And I really think that you will end up liking it. And you'll even have a little bit of extra room for some styling, especially if it's something that's in the background of your videos. So hopefully that is helpful. And Corey says, my closet is horrible. The basic construction wire system. Yes, I feel like that's part of the reason why I really wanted to make this live, is because I feel like so many people have awkward things in their houses, like wire shelving, or they don't know what to do with it. And it feels really overwhelming. Like you need to, I don't know, spend a bunch of money to completely replace it. But there's lots of things that you can do. One of my favorite tricks for wire shelving is to get the clear Dollar Tree placemats, and you can set it on top of the wire shelves. Each pack comes with 2. They're clear in the kitchen section, and that way it will prevent things from falling through. So if you have a lot of canned goods or products that tend to topple, that's something that works really well. Bins and containers are also great for that, but just in case you need it, hopefully that tip is helpful for you. Okay, let me pull up the next picture. Up next, we have Carice. I hope that I'm saying your name correctly. She submitted a picture of her closet and all of her clothes kind of spilling out of this organizer, which again, Carice, this was so funny because so many of us were like, I've been thinking about my closets. I just cleaned out my son's closet, and then my older son, he was giving some of his clothes to my younger son. So I feel like closets are just on all of our brains, right? And these organizers are some of my least favorite. I've seen them at Target and I've seen them at Walmart, but the drawers never close all the way. They're like the long gray ones, and it gets like so topsy-turvy. So you are not alone, Carice. So I wanted to give you a budget alternative that you may not have thought of. The first thing I would recommend is you could try going to the thrift store and buying an actual dresser to put inside of your closet. Sometimes we don't think about putting actual furniture in our closet because that feels counterintuitive, but it could really help here, especially if it's a quality piece where the drawers are a lot easier to open. But I'm going to share with you what I have in my closet in hopes that it's helpful. This is what I use. It is, on the left there is a picture of my closet. I actually got these from Costco years ago, but they're wire bins and they're on a little track system. So they glide really smoothly. And what I love about it is I can take these drawers out and like literally set them on my floor. I can fold clothes and put them inside and then easily put it back in the closet. And I got 2 of them right next to each other. So it acts as a dresser, and this fits so much stuff. I do not use our dresser in our main bedroom. This is where all of my clothes have to fit. And some of these can get really expensive, like from the Container Store and other places. The one that I have linked there in the chat for you, and it's on the screen, is from Target, and it's $68, which is a very affordable price for one of these. And they're one of my favorites because you can see everything that's on the inside and the drawers move smoothly. So if you're really struggling with that, I highly recommend checking this product out, and hopefully that will work for you, and it will allow you to be able to see what you have. And again, just encouraging yourself to declutter and to let go of things as you're working through. I really recommend letting go of at least 20% of what you have in a space. If you can start there, I'm willing to let go of the 20% that doesn't serve me. It will give you some wiggle room for some organization that could actually work in your space. And so Sheena submitted this picture of her closet. She says she loves fashion. And she says that she really didn't know what to do with this space. It was kind of bugging her how like crowded it felt. And so Sheena, again, I would say this is actually a really great space. All of you submitted spaces, even though they were kind of tricky to work with. I was like, these spaces all have like a lot of potential. The first thing I would recommend is letting go of as much as possible. And part of your free guide includes, in addition to your linen capsule, a closet capsule of some of the basics that are really useful to have in your closet. So you aren't keeping like 9 different jean jackets, right? Like 7 of the same shirt, and you're really only wearing one. But just to like pare it down to the things that most people have to be able to access all the time. And you're having clothes that actually serve you. And one of my biggest telltale signs of a good garment in my closet versus one that I should let go of is I should not feel the need to change, like to sit up straighter or to like nip and tuck myself in any way to wear an outfit. And you know what I'm talking about? Like, have you ever like walked by a mirror and you look like you take a glance at yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, and you like stand up a little straighter and you like tuck your shirt in and you have to like move your outfit to feel more confident? Like those are the things in my closet that I intentionally decided to let go of, because those are the things that don't make me feel my best. Those are the things that stress me out when I wear them. So when you put something on, it should make you feel like $1,000,000, just as your body is right now. And all of the stuff that you feel like you have to like nip, tuck, suck in, or like move around a little bit, move those things out of your closet so the stuff that you love can sing. And I just really like giving you an idea of how you could see a space, like even just decluttering 20%, allowing for a finger length of room between each hanger. You could see how this closet could really be transformed. Bins like that at the top of the closet, you can find those at Dollar Tree right now. They're the Sterilite brand. They're $5 and they are cheaper than Walmart. And so I really like using these in closets because they're clear so I can see what's inside, but they're uniform. So it helps it look really streamlined and organized. And I personally rainbow code my closet. I think it makes it a lot easier to find things. But when your closet is decluttered, you can start to see the shoes. There's also some options for storage on the bottom with organization from Walmart. So this is something that I would really recommend. And for me, in my own closet, I limit the number of hangers that I have. And as soon as all of my hangers are full, that means I have to let go of something. It doesn't mean that I get to buy new hangers. And very similar to Sheena, I do have like the velvet hangers that I use just because they're all uniform. But once my closet is full and every hanger is in use, that's my signal that I need to let something go. So keep the clothes that you don't feel like you have to like shift, nip and tuck, suck in, and allow your hangers to limit the number of garments that you have. It really helps moving forward as you're decluttering and reminding yourself like, okay, I really should let that go. Yay. Taylor says, thank you so much for helping me organize my spaces for several years. It's still a work in progress, but especially thank you for helping me feel I'm enough, even when my space is not quite there yet. I'm so glad that you said that, Taylor. And it is so true. I think oftentimes we feel like once our house is in order, or if like our outside reflected goodness, that would mean that we were better people, or there was more of a virtue in that, or how do I word this? I think oftentimes we moralize our homes, right? And we say when my home is clean, that means I am in good standing. But the truth is that this is a process. Our houses get messy. I was literally just cleaning up a mess downstairs today from the kids because we were playing. Like, we are living in our homes. So giving yourself that grace, it doesn't all have to be perfect, but we can make small steps forward to making our spaces serve us. And that's where the difference is. And when I say it in my videos, I truly mean it. You have and you are more than enough. I'm so, so glad that you said that, Taylor. All right. I'm going to go ahead and there we go. Move that comment. And I also just wanted to remind you about the closet capsule freebie. If you're just joining us or you just jumped on the live, you can have access to the Should I Keep It flowchart if you are letting go of things. Also the closet capsule and the linen closet capsule, that is all there for you just to make things easier. It's linked in the chat as well as in the description box, so you can check it out and grab that, and hopefully that will make it a lot easier as you're letting go, cleaning out your closets. Oh, thank you so much, Gigi, that you love my Dollar Tree videos and they always cheer you up. I'm so, so glad. They're some of my favorite to make. They are some of my favorites. All right. So this next space was submitted by Deborah, and I'm really glad that I'm bringing this one up because I saw somebody in the chat just mentioned this. She was asking about a linen closet. At least I think I saw that. Somebody just asked about a linen closet, was like, I am not exactly sure how I'm supposed to do this. And I love this because I think there were 4 or 5 linen closets submitted, but this is the one I chose because it was so relatable and the solutions were really, really clear to me. And again, this really has to do with zoning out your space so you have one type of item per area in the closet and you can access it easily and see everything. So this is what I would recommend for your space. Some of my favorite things to do in a linen closet are to have all of your light products at the very top, because you want nothing on the top that is super heavy, that's going to fall down and it's going to like hit you in the face. We absolutely don't want that. Okay. So always light items at the top. And then in those center shelves, some of my favorite containers from Walmart are those clear bins with the little lip that goes down in the front. They are less than $5 each, and they are really, really great in linen closets. I showed it earlier in the video in my own linen closet. You can also put turntables in there, but you can see it. You have all of your spray products. You have all of your like stain remover products, and then you have your laundry products. But everything is clean and organized and it's easy to get to. And what I really like in the laundry room is that these are super easy to wipe down. So this is what I would recommend for your space, Deborah. Let's see here, double checking your comments. Ooh, this is good. If you can't add a rod, try a shower curtain rod that has spring-loaded ends. That is really good, especially for a closet. Pam, this is a really great tip. I've used spring curtain rods for a lot of things. I've used them in laundry rooms actually for hiding product in a shelf. So I just literally put a spring rod curtain rod with really, really light curtains on the front so I can put all my products behind it and then close it up. Especially if you have a lot of products that don't look very pretty sitting out, but it's in a very open area, that's a really good use of a curtain rod. And you can also do this in your closet. Just make sure it's able to support the weight for your clothes. You can do this under a sink, but curtain rods are a great hack. I'm so glad you brought it up. And Barbara said, it's really hard for me to let clothes go. Yes, I understand, especially if you really like fashion or you're scared that you're going to need it later. But something that really helps me is the 80-20 rule. You actually only wear 20% of your closet 80% of the time. And if you think about that, the things that you love and are reaching for the most are really the same things. There's very few items that you end up needing or grabbing in that other 80%. And so over the last years, I've really narrowed down my closet. In fact, how I do it in my room is I have a little, like, a lot of people didn't like this when I shared it in a video because they were like, it clutters up the room, but I love it. I have kind of like a mini capsule wardrobe out in my closet of like the main clothes that I'm wearing for that season. And then the rest of it I keep inside my closet, and I sort of rotate that out. It just works for me. But letting go of the things that are only sometimes clothes, I have found I rarely miss a piece. Like I've never let something go clothes-wise where I'm like, man, I really wish I still had that. And I also love thrifting. So for me, it's very like easy come, easy go. I sort of look at it as like renting my clothes, right? So I'm like, well, I can get this for $5.99. I can wear it a few times and then I'll send it back to the thrift store for somebody else to enjoy. So that's an alternative way of looking at things. Charlotte is asking about purse hangers. Where can I find purse hangers or something to show my purses? Girl, I got you. So the Dollar Tree sells garden hooks. They're like the S-shaped garden hooks. They're supposed to be meant for like hanging ferns outside, but they can stack together, almost like that stacking monkeys game where the monkeys are all holding hands. And you can hang your purses off of that. So you can hang them in a line. I have seen Dollar Tree sell purse organizers that are the little plastic ones. We can just like stick your purse inside, but they're not my favorite. They're not as high quality. I really like the S hooks. You can do as many of them as you need to. And I actually have a purse closet coming up here soon. But that is something that I really love for purses. Let's see. Linda's asking, are you going to do more videos with Jess? I so enjoy the coffee bar in American Girl. I've been watching for the last 10 years. Thank you again. Oh my gosh, Jess is so amazing. She is my neighbor and she worked with me for a little bit. She is so great. I would love to do more stuff at her house. I actually do have more makeovers coming up on my channel, which I'm really excited about. You may remember Melissa. She has a sourdough bread micro bakery and she lives right near us. I'm actually going back to her house for some more making over. She's got 3 small kids and I'm really excited about that. It involves some decluttering and moving things around in like a really tiny closet. So I've got lots of makeovers coming up. And if you are local to Charlotte, North Carolina, reach out, send me some pictures of your space. You never know, maybe I might show up and knock on your door. All right, I'm going to get to a few more of these and then we'll grab some questions. Hide that comment there. All right, so this one was submitted by Deanna. And what's really cool is Deanna was like, Catherine, I'm just going to take like a bunch of pictures of my entire house and I want you to try to help me. And I loved this because what often I do when I look at somebody's house is I don't just think about the one space. I think about things that they have in other areas of their home that I could reuse in the area that I'm organizing. So she shared with me her linen closet. She shared with me her daughter's play area and then her front closet, which was very cut off and small. So Deanna, these are the tips that I would give to you. And the first, maybe if you've been watching for a little bit, you can guess what I'm going to say. I would take out those containers that are really nice, but they're more flimsy. I would remove them from the space and I would get uniform containers. I see that you have the Dollar Tree long, like $5 bins in there. I would use those. Now this mock-up picture has the towels in a bin. You don't necessarily have to do that, but you can just see, I took Dollar Tree picture frames and put them on the front of each of those bins. It really allows you to see exactly what you have and it's clear, right? You can go through and declutter some of those products. You can put your toilet paper in one of the containers, fold your towels uniformly, put your bath towels that are smaller, your hand towels in one, and now everything looks uniform. Really, uniformity is going to help you love the space, and it's going to help keep things clean and clear. Gina says, is an hour away local? Yeah, if it's a good space. Yes, it is. An hour is good. I think I would travel up to an hour. Midland, Texas. Does anyone live in Hawaii? Come on now, fly me out to Hawaii. That would be really fun. I'm kidding. But it would be really cool to do it harder in Hawaii because they don't have Dollar Tree, I don't believe. But that would be a fun project. Deanna also submitted this picture of her kids' playroom. And honestly, those bins that you took out of the linen closet, Deanna, you could really use this in this area. And something that I've really noticed, not only for kids, but also adults too. So for those of you that don't know, I was a teacher for a decade and I have 2 boys. They are 12 and 9. And so I have definitely had my fair share of organizing classrooms and organizing kids stuff. I believe this is true for adults too. We use 20% of our things 80% of the time. And really, Deanna, if you can pare some of these toys down to just the essentials, I really think it's going to make a difference. And you guys can let me know in the comments if you found the same thing. There are, I wrote them down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 types of toys that every kid plays with, and everything else is just extra. Food, like plastic food, wooden food, marble runs, magnetiles, dress-up clothes, Connects, and Lego. Those, and maybe some dolls, right? Maybe some dolls thrown in there. But food, marble run, magnetiles, dress-up clothes, that kind of includes dolls, Connects, and Lego. Those are the things that every kid is using all of the time. But the extra stuff gets in the way, and what ends up happening? You are spending a ton of time putting away stuff a lot, and it's overwhelming. So our general rule in our family is that no room should take more than 5 minutes to pick up. That is just what has worked for us. So I just want to show you this, Deanna, to kind of give you a little bit of inspiration. I would really recommend paring down this area and using that space for your needs at this time. So your shelf right now has a lot of books on it, which are awesome. They're probably books that you love and read. But right now, at this season of life, you may consider moving those books into storage, opening up this area, and putting some storage on the shelves for your daughter. Now, this doesn't have all of like your decor and stuff added, but you could put that back in there. But you can see taking those 4 containers and simplifying this space so it is really easy for you to pick up. Toy rotation is really common for a lot of people, and a lot of people find that works, where you have like certain toys you bring out and then other toys you put away for a time, so it constantly feels new for your child. I just found it really helped to have like the basics and a bare minimum of toys. When kids have less options, they play better and for longer. And so I really, really would recommend getting 1 cube shelf and keeping it really simple, so it's really easy for you to pick up this space. So I hope that's helpful. Plus you have those extra bins now from your linen closet. But I think my favorite for you is your front closet. So this is really a challenging space because she has that wall kind of at the bottom of the closet, and it kind of cuts off the closet in half. So what I would recommend is having a hanging organizer in addition to your coats, and having a over-the-door organizer. Now, I typically do not recommend over-the-door organizers because they're usually really flimsy. However, this particular product is awesome. I've used it in so many projects, and I have this in my home and absolutely love it. Kathy will link this one for you. It will also be linked down below. But this is an over-the-door organizer that is sturdy and it's nice and thick, and man, can it hold stuff. From rain gear, gloves, hats, sprays. It holds so much. It is so good. And Deanna, you might have to cut yours off at the bottom because your shelf kind of like comes up through the middle of the closet. But if you put that in your closet, in addition to some hanging storage, I really think that you will be able to get to things easier. Natty says, I have that hanging organizer and I love it. Yes. And I do believe Amazon changes their prices constantly. Like every time I make an Amazon video, I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't change the price. But I believe that these are about $20 and sometimes less. I've seen it go as low as $17 for this product. So it's a very, very good deal and it works super, super well. So hopefully that helps you. I like this tip too. Deborah says, take a picture on your phone of the interior of your boxes, storage boxes. And before you open the box again, you will know what is inside the box. I know a lot of people do this for their Christmas decor and stuff, or things that are in more permanent storage so they don't forget what they have. Or if you have like a box of stuff that like Christmas decor, holiday decor, that once you take it out, it's really hard to fit back in. Take a picture of how it looked nice and organized so you remember when you go to put it back in, because trust me, you will forget. There's also kits that you can buy. It's called like Scan a Tote. So they comes with little stickers and you can take pictures in an app and you can put the sticker right on your tote and then scan the little sticker on your tote just on a smartphone, and it will show you everything that's in the box, depending on how organized you want to get. And that way you will not forget. I like that one a lot. All right. Okay, so Deanna, I hope that helped organize your house and you give those a try. Up next, I was really, really happy to see Joan submit this picture because there's a couple. This was one that I wanted to just like come through the screen and help her out. Joan has a son that is special needs, and he has classes and some of like the things that he needs to do all take place in this dining room. And so she was like, Catherine, I'm just so overwhelmed and I don't know what to do with this space. Obviously, this is their dining room where they eat, right? But there's a lot of like supplies that they need to try to store. What would I do in this space? And Joan, the first thing is you need some awesome storage on that back wall. And we want to do everything affordably. So I would highly suggest getting a console. You can find these at the thrift store. I've seen these so many times on Facebook Marketplace. An example that I'm going to show you in just a minute, you can get for less than $250. But TV stand is something else you can type in if console is not giving you very many results. But getting a console like this is going to give you closed storage that you don't have to see, and it's also going to allow you to have storage on top. And these are the things that you're going to keep that you're using all the time. These are the things in active rotation, right? And then everything in storage is the things that you will later bring up. And right now, the art that you have on there, I really, really like how it's you and your husband. It's so cute. But it's a little bit small for the space. So what I would recommend is getting something nice and big, hopefully something serene, something that relaxes you. And that way you can have organization on top and organization within. So the one that I found is this TV stand. I believe this was from Ashley Furniture. Kathy will link this for you. But it is on sale for $249. And you can see on the inside, there's a lot of room for storage and organization using Dollar Tree bins and products. This, I think, would look really good in that space. You could also try to thrift one of these or see if somebody could also gift you one. A lot of people, it's kind of one of those things like when you have something you need to get rid of, a lot of people are willing to like let these go for next to nothing. The video going live on Tuesday, I got a super affordable console off of Facebook Marketplace. And so I would really recommend that in this space. I think it will be a game changer for you. Oh, Juliet says, we've been decluttering a lot, 40 years here. Garbage day is my favorite day. I like it. It's because like the gifts of seeing your space look organized and actually get to serve you far outweighs like the what ifs of keeping things you probably will never use. Rebecca says, I use a TV stand too. Yes. Nice. All right. This next picture I wanted to show you guys. Let me move my head out of the way. And let me move this comment out of the way. This is from Margaret, and she was sharing her pantry, and she said, what order should I put things in? What's the best way to organize this? And honestly, Margaret, you have the perfect space for these drawers from Amazon. These are peel and stick. You literally peel off the bottom of the drawer and you stick them right in and they can pull right out. So that little mock-up that I did for you, you can kind of see what it might look like. But what I really, really like about these is they're super affordable. You can get them for about $25 each. And I think this will really change your pantry so you can see those things in the back. And again, I recommend having the lightest items up at the top or turntables up at the top. So that way the things and products don't get lost in the back. You can easily pull them forward and having one type of item per shelf. I think that will look really awesome in your space. And you have lots of food storage containers as well. So I would recommend stacking those in one area. And you can see all of the water bottles are on one side, the food storage containers, you've got cups there, just so everything is easy to see. We really want to go for visibility here, but in your space in particular, I would really recommend those drawers. So hopefully that is helpful to you. And Tanya says, I hope I'm saying your name right, Tanya. I lost my mother from ALS and I'm the last person living in my family. Oh my gosh. I've inherited my mother's home and all of its content. What do I do with everything and where do I start? Oh my, I'm so sorry for your loss, Tanya. It is really challenging inheriting so many things. My grandmother recently passed away, and so my mom actually traveled back up to Michigan, and my grandmother was a huge collector. Like, she was like me in that she like loved thrifting and collecting, but oh my goodness, she had so much stuff. And they had to give away a lot of the things. We sold a lot of things. Some of us kept some of those things, but the first thing that I would say is there is no timetable for grief. And so you do not have to tackle all of these things all at once. And also, not everything has to go to the perfect spot. I think a lot of times when we let go of things, there's this idea in the back of our head that everything that we own has to go to just the right person in just the right time frame. And we have to like be a very careful steward of all of our things. And what I've really found to be true is that when we do that, and I remember this when my brother passed away too, I had a lot of his things. When you try to make sure every little item goes to just the right place, like I wanted to make sure his keyboard went to like somebody who would play it, right? Like that was so important to me. Really what it did was it just ended up wearing on me. And I was the person who was burdened by the stuff having the priority. So I'm only saying this because I just want to remind you that you are the priority, in that your health, your sanity absolutely matter. So if there are some things that you have to let go of in a way that you're like, listen, I need somebody to help me let go of this entire room because there's nothing here that I need and can use, that is absolutely okay. And if you need a little bit of time and you want to do this over a time frame that makes sense to you, that is absolutely okay. And that you want to keep the things that actually matter to you, and you're the person who left you, they would want that for you. They would not want you to be burdened with all of their stuff. And that was one thing that really helped me with letting go of some of those final things. And to choose like those one or two things that are really meaningful to you, because one or two things, pay a better and more faithful tribute and memory of that person than like a great many that you're drowning in. So I know that was kind of a short answer, but I hope that's helpful because grief is very universal. And as a lot of us are losing family members or we acquire these things that we don't necessarily need, I think those can be important things to remember. Jean says she's excited to see upcoming makeovers. I'm excited too. It's so wonderful to see people like they light up when their spaces are transformed. It's one of my favorite things. Misty, I'm so sorry for your loss as well. She still hasn't let her belongings go. There is no time limit on grief. Yes, I held on to my brother's things for, over a year before I really started to like let them go officially. You just have to do what works for you on the timetable that makes sense. Okay, pull this up. It's so funny. It's making me have to scroll up to be able to hide comments. I'm not exactly sure why that is. Who knows? Technology. All right, this next one I am really excited to show because when she asked this question, I was like, yes, Carolyn, this is the kind of stuff that I love. Give me a weird space. She said, Catherine, I have this weird little nook above my toilet and I have no idea what to do with it. And I was like, yes, that is a very interesting space. I've never seen anything like this before. And so, Carolyn, what I would recommend to you is keeping it really simple here. What I would suggest is having some sort of basket for either toilet paper or towels if you want to, and a small mirror. This is kind of like more of a farmhousey style mirror, but I really like how it plays off the mirror on your wall because it's white. And now all of a sudden, this space is clear, simple. It gives you extra storage, but it also reads as intentional. And the art that you select for the wall, if you can make it nice and tall, I think that that's really going to help put it vertically rather than horizontally. Words, Catherine. That's really going to help open up the space. And so this is what I would recommend here, and keep it nice and simple. You don't have to overcomplicate something just because you have extra space. So hopefully that helps. And then I wanted to share kind of like some fun and creative spaces, just because I like to show people what they could imagine and make it fun. So when I was going through, a lot of you sent like pictures and you were like, Catherine, I have a dream for this space, but I'm not exactly sure how to make it come true on a budget. So I was like, let's just dream together. So these are kind of like some fun ones. And so hopefully you enjoy them too. I had fun thinking about what would make sense at these spaces. So this one was submitted by Nikki, and she had purse storage in here. This was all of her purses and a little jacket on the door. But Nikki actually did not say if she wanted to keep this as her purse storage. But I was like, Nikki, go big or go home. You really could make this like a store for your stuff. And I sort of set my son's room up like this as well. When we redid his closet, like I was mentioning, he was like, wow, it reminds me of a store. And I was like, exactly, because you can see everything. It's all visible and it makes you excited to pick something out of it. Like you should be excited when you walk into your closet. And so what I suggest for Nikki is something like this. You could get a cube shelf for inside of your closet. These are literally a dime a dozen at the thrift store, on Marketplace. Set your purses out, and you can use some of the smaller S-hooks to hang your purses, some storage at the top, and lots of rechargeable LED lighting can look really, really awesome. So hopefully something like this would be really cool for your space. I was really inspired by this, like walking in and being like, ooh, I'm in a store. I thought it felt really cool. Okay. And up next, we have Astrid's space. Astrid lives in Denmark, and she said that right now this is kind of being used as a bar. She's got the fridge there, but like a kid had painted that. She doesn't want to keep it. Like she wants to make this a home for her books. And so she was like, what should I do in this space? And I was thinking through on this one, and I really think clearing this space out entirely and putting a bookcase in, like to make a custom library, would look so cool. But she was saying that in Denmark, that the IKEA there was really expensive, and she didn't know what she should do. And so I really would recommend going on Facebook Marketplace. A friend of mine recently was traveling overseas, and she said that the Facebook Marketplace in France was awesome. And I was so jealous. I was like, that actually sounds so cool. I bet the antiques there are amazing. But just to kind of show you some Facebook Marketplace finds, like I literally just pulled this up a few hours before the presentation. This is bookshelves that were literally $80, $100. Some of them are $50 that you could put in that space. You could paint them one color, and make sure that you use a water-based paint rather than an oil-based paint. And oh my gosh, I really think that this could look so amazing in that space. You could paint it one cohesive color. You could have your beautiful bookshelves, but don't discount Facebook Marketplace and thinking outside of the box. Okay, next. This is Cheryl's space that she submitted, which Cheryl has such a cool space here. Let me move my head out of the way so you can see it all the way. I loved this. She said she really didn't like this space and that it ended up being a dumping ground, which honestly, Cheryl, I had to laugh. Like, I showed my husband this because it just tickled me in the best way. I think your husband's hat there, like the little sunglasses that are sitting on top of it. I was like, that is my husband would totally do the same thing. Like, put your hat up and be like, well, there's no spot for the sunglasses. I will set it right on top of my hat. And she was like, I just can't stand this space. She really wants to make this into like an office, but she wasn't exactly sure how. And honestly, I have organized spaces just like this before. I'm not exactly sure where you live, but in North Carolina, these mudrooms are very common and they're so pretty, but they're just not very functional for day to day. So I just want to give you a couple options and an option that you could like use to think outside the box. So the option on the left, this is one that I did in a friend's house, and she literally has almost the same built-ins that you do. And on that little ledge, we put 3 baskets, one for each member of her family. And that way, and this system has been in place, and I know because we are friends, this system has been in place since we put it in place. So each of those baskets holds her people's stuff. Sometimes it holds a sweater. Sometimes it holds things that have to go in the car. It's easy to transport into the car and bring back in. It's a basket you can carry around the house to put things away for all that dumping ground stuff. And so this is a system that has worked really well for almost your exact space. So hopefully that's helpful for you. And then on the right, this is the dream space I was talking about. Just an idea of what you could do if you wanted to hire a carpenter. You could also do an IKEA hack, or just like kind of add a small narrow desk into that space. And then you could take off the hooks, kind of, putty them up, and then put some office organization in this area, as well as a chair, so you could work with it. But these are just 2 options for your space that I was like, ooh, these could look really, really cool. And hopefully one of those is helpful for you. And as with anything, like, just to encourage you that you know your space and you know yourself very, very well. I think oftentimes we feel like, man, I don't know what I want to do in this space, or somebody else should tell me what to do. But the truth is like, you kind of know what functions for you. You know what's going to work for your family. You know when things need to be visible, like if it's out of sight, out of mind. So to work with what you know about yourself and making that come to life is always the best bet. So take whatever somebody else says, what I say, and put it through the sifter and find what works for you. Yes, and Mary Ann is asking that she would like to purchase Fresh Start, which is awesome, yay! But she needs to know if I can send it to Canada. We have dollar stores and Walmart here. Yes, this absolutely works for Canadian viewers as well as US viewers. It's all the same products, all the same capsules. The file system and the meal planning system are for everybody as well. They're super fast, super affordable. They're like my top tier stuff. Like, when I created the Fresh Start program, I created it so it's everything that I would tell you if I could come to your house. It's like all of the best stuff that truly works. Like, this is the foundation for getting organized. This is the foundation for creating a meal planning system you'll actually stick to. And this is the foundation for a no clutter paper solution. I've been using it for over a decade, so I can confidently say that. These are like my most favorite things. So hopefully that is helpful. All right, let's see. Any more questions? Oh, I love this. Ivy says, my husband has become obsessed with Facebook Marketplace. I need to reel him in. Listen, I understand. I am the same way. And whenever I'm in a new city, I'm like, ooh, I wonder what their marketplace is like. I'm like sitting there like messaging Sylvia in Raleigh, like, hey, I'm really interested in your stuff. There are so many great things. And I love how sustainable it is as well. And actually in Tuesday's video, there's a lot of stuff that I've sold on Facebook Marketplace, like as I was decluttering. So when I'm redoing spots around my home, it's the first place that I go to let go of things. And it's the first place that I go if I'm trying to acquire something. There's also a lot of free groups on Facebook, so things that people are trying to get rid of just for free. So look for a group in your area that's like a no-buy group is what they're called. So if you search no-buy in your city, you can get access to some of those groups. People give away stuff all the time. And if you're looking to bless somebody else with things that you are not using, that's also a place to check. Yay! All right. So next, all right, I am really excited about this one because this was such a unique space. This was submitted by Mindy. And what's really interesting is when I first saw this space, let me move my head here, I didn't realize that this is actually in Mindy's dining room. So you can see to the right there at the bottom, her stove, and then you can see on the other side, her sink. So she has this literally in her dining room, which is functioning as her craft room. And she was like, Catherine, I just need help making this look more aesthetic. And so what I was looking at is whenever you're looking at a space, to be able to say, okay, what is working here? How do I actually use this space? Because it's perfectly okay that your space is not used like it's supposed to be used, right? Like I know so many people who I have a good friend of mine uses her dining room as her kids' playroom because that is literally what works for her. She's off the kitchen working and it is so easy for her to be able to check on them. It's a dining room, but it works as a playroom. Mindy is using this as her craft room and office because that is what works for her. And so the biggest thing that I would say, Mindy, is the thing that is cluttering this space the most and how you're using it based on what I'm looking at. You have a lot of beautiful things that are sitting out, but your desk, that storage above it, you are not utilizing with a lot of storage. And so that is cluttering up the room. And usually with those type of corner desks, that top piece is very easily able to come off. And I think if you removed that, it would really help open up the room. So this is just a mock-up, and obviously the colors are a little bit different, but you can see how something like this might look. If you decluttered the things that you weren't using, if you put a pegboard there instead of that big kind of giant dark desk, you keep your corner desk, you'd be able to display some of the beautiful things that you've made. You could rotate them out. I really, really liked your rolling cart and the storage that you had in other areas of your home, but this would give you an actual workspace that you could work on. So that is something that I would highly recommend for you, and it would feel more open and it would feel a little bit cleaner. So you could think about it in a more simplified way. This one, it took me a lot of iterations to think about what would actually work in this space, but I'm super happy with how that one turned out. I think it's really, really cool. And let's see, Maeve said, I'm on a fixed income, so I'm not able to do that yet. And I'm really glad you brought this up. I do feel like with a lot of spaces in our homes, it's okay that things take a little bit of time. It's okay if you have to wait for the free thing or if you need to sell something first before you can make a change in your home. And a lot of these changes do not have to cost a lot. In fact, a lot of them can be absolutely free, which I love too. Yay. Let's see. Juliet says, I put the good stuff at the curb today before garbage day so anyone can take it. If it doesn't get taken, the garbage guy takes it. I do this on bulk pickup day. There are people who drive around our neighborhood and take stuff out of the garbage, especially if it's something that's broken or needs fixed. That is a really good thing you can do. Another great way to do that is you can take pictures of it and put it on a no buy group on Facebook, and people oftentimes will come by and pick that up for you, which is really, really nice, especially if somebody comes straight to your house, right? I am, let's see, pull this one out here. I am so, so thankful for all of you who have showed up today to this live stream. It has truly been so much fun hanging out with you guys. And I just want to remind you about Fresh Start. The link will be down below. Included is also how to find the best Dollar Tree, which a lot of people ask about because you want to try to find the best store in your area. I have a list of all 50 states and all of my favorite stores in each of those states. The best ways to organize your digital files, your meal planning, every single thing is included in there. Excuse me, somebody asked a question about digital files. I share how to organize your paper files, your meal planning. All of that is included in there, and I really hope that it is helpful, and I priced it in a way that is extremely affordable for all that you're getting. And do not forget to pick up your freebie, your closet capsule, your linen closet capsule, as well as you keep this flow chart. It has been so much fun hanging out with you guys and sharing your spaces. I would love to do this again. Let's see. Have another live sometime. I really enjoyed it so much. Yay, me too. This was so fun. Getting to see your spaces truly, truly means so much to me. So I will definitely plan to do one of these soon. And so if you've got a spot around your home, save it, take a picture of it, and I will see you very, very soon. And of course, somebody commented today on YouTube. They were like, Catherine, in a live stream, do you say you are enough and do you give us a hug at the end? And I was like, I don't see why I shouldn't do those things. Absolutely. I might be the only live stream person that ever did that, but I'm going to do it. My beautiful friend, if nobody has told you today, you are more than enough. I love you so much, and I'll catch you soon. Bye, friend.